FoxDen Radio, the place where the Fox Finance community meets to chat, get updates from the team, conduct interviews, and answer questions. My name is Dave, also known as The Dude Abides in Canada.
Life goes on, man.
I'm the founder of the FoxDen and the host of FoxDen Radio. Join us as we grow this FoxDen Radio project, and you will gain the power to answer life's most mysterious question.
What does the fox say? The secret of the fox, ancient mystery, somewhere deep in the woods. I know you're hiding. What is your sound? Will we ever know? Will always be a mystery. What do you think?
Well, what does the FoxDen team have to say today? Welcome to another edition of FoxDen Radio. I'm your host, Dave the Dude, excited to be broadcasting to you live from the Fox Metaverse Space. That's right, folks, we've done it. We've got our first version of the Fox Finance Metaverse Space up and running. You can check it out yourself in virtual reality on an Oculus headset, or you can do it on desktop with Mac or PC by going to Altspace's website, downloading their app, create an avatar for yourself, and you can check it out on a browser, or you can experience it in virtual reality. So excited to be integrating some of our media products into the Fox Metaverse Space. It's going to be the thing that connects everything together. We're going to have our games, our NFTs in here, our radio shows, and it's going to be a huge new source of creating digital attractions and bringing new people to Fox Finance and raising money to help endangered species and fight climate change. So on today's show, I was happy to do another interview with the architect of the Fox Metaverse Space, Metaverse Mark, as I like to call him. He's a friend of mine in the real world, and he's done a great job of figuring out how this all works and has been working with the team, collaborating with my vision to start with a meeting space, and that's something that will be expanded over time to an entire virtual resort, which is going to be super exciting. So today's show, we're going to begin with an interview with Mark, and we will also have some news, some of the latest cryptocurrency news that is happening, as well as a tribute to the DJ Steve Aoki. But let's start out with the interview with Metaverse Mark. So could you tell me about Altspace? Like this place where the Fox Finance Metaverse Space is being hosted?
So I guess Altspace basically is it's a social app where people can meet and where anyone can go in and create a user-defined space to do whatever they want in, literally to do whatever they want in. They're not moderated, so
Right.
you can have a dance club, you could have a church service, you could teach something. There's a lot of educational things going on. It seems to me when I look around in there, what I see mostly is I see a lot of religion and a lot of educational stuff going on in there. But other people are doing more countercultural kind of things, which is more kind of what I'm into. Like the Burning Man people have things going on in there, and it's a neat space for arts and to socialize. Like you mentioned that you went to a room where you could smoke virtual weed the other day. How was that? That seemed fun.
Yeah, it was just a cool idea to be able to do it. So I guess like the first thing is you create like an avatar for yourself, right? And then you go in, and then there's different rooms. So like there's when you go in, there's like events happening that you can join on the main menu, or if you put in like a
you can search
specific
for
code.
something specific. Yes.
Oh, you can search as well?
Well, yeah, not really so much for things, but you can search for codes. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And, yeah.
So then you punch in that code, and then
Yeah.
it takes you to the room. And then I did notice, like, you can normally you're seeing it like first person, right? But you can do like a camera thing, and where you can see yourself in the space as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't come across that yet, but it doesn't surprise me that there'd be different camera views.
Yeah, but then other people see you, right? They see your avatar
Yeah.
kind of floating around, so you can see other people who are in the space.
Yeah.
So
And was there a lot of people in the room that you visited?
no, there's nobody there when I went.
You were in there by yourself, yeah.
Yeah, I went to some other ones that had people. I went to one. There was like a DJ playing, and I went and checked that out. And there was other people there. And then his avatar, he finished, and he came down on the stage and was talking to people. And you can't actually hear their conversations, but you can see that they're talking or whatever. So
Yeah.
so that was kind of cool. And so this works out as a platform, because to make our own metaverse space from total scratch was like a huge undertaking, right? But so it's like, to use this platform and create a room is something where like community members can actually participate and get on it. And the other thing I really liked about it is that you don't need to have a VR headset to join, right?
No, you don't need a VR headset. You just need a Microsoft account, and you can sign up for it, and you can do it from anywhere, any platform.
Is it any platform? Is it
Pretty
just
sure
Windows?
No, I'm pretty sure.
Mac?
Well, it's Mac for sure, yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So then you could still
Mac,
go in
Android,
there and see
Windows,
that?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so that's cool. And then it's actually, the basic version is up. I got to go in there and walk around. So starting out with just the meeting space is what we're starting for, right?
Yeah.
We talked about before.
My next step then is in my own space, I did a stream the other day, which was really cool. So I opened a video or a web browser in the space, and then put one of my DJ mixes from Mixcloud in the web browser. So then anyone that visited the space could hear the DJ music and actually see the web page. And I'm pretty sure that they could turn it on and off.
Yeah, because that's part of like the integration. We have a big vision for the space, but I was thinking like, even like we're developing our forum, right? And let's say like we're gonna have like elections, so we can set it as like a certain wall in the space. We'll have like the latest updates from the forum, and then we can do that. Or we can have like videos or any type of content. We can have like the NFTs or things like that.
Yeah.
We can have portals to our games as well.
Yes.
And then you would essentially just, you walk up to that, but then you got to interact with it, right? In some ways, then it takes you out, right? You're not.
Yeah, we'll bring it in Altspace, as opposed to building a big game where everything is all within one game. It's sort of like it sub branches out, so you jump from mini game to mini game basically within Altspace.
Right.
Going from room to room.
Right. And I saw you had some kind of portal things there. That's a way to kind of go between.
Those hopefully will be a way to go between the spaces when we get to that point.
Right.
It's something that I wanted to because we had discussed having like a Pokemon style, sort of like 8 different levels. So
Right.
I figured for something to do to like make our space a little different, and something that's actually that I created, those little transport tubes or whatever they're going
Right.
to be. Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be cool, because that's the idea, is to have like a virtual resort, like a virtual zoo, so to be able to go to the different areas and navigate. But we'll start at the meeting area, and that's where we'll have team meetings, but we can have community gatherings, right?
Yeah.
People can come and see what's going on, and it can also be like an auction hall, like a place for vendors as well, right?
Yeah,
Could come in, and we'll have that kind of integration. So
Well, this hall would probably be more of a central place, and other things would probably be breakout rooms.
Right.
Like I imagine that if you wanted to do a marketplace, that would be there would be a portal where you go to a marketplace from this main thing.
right.
You'd build these subspaces around it.
Right. So this is kind of like the nexus point where
It's been-
everything
yeah,
comes
yeah,
together, right?
Definitely,
And then
yeah.
you kind of branch off. So, and I've seen like the design of it. It's going to look really cool. So it's cool to be able to come into there, and then, but also to branch out, because I did go into some of the alt spaces and it was kind of one main area, but then that was kind of it. So it's cool to be able to like transport and then go into a totally different area.
Yeah.
Even though it's in the same Altspace room, you're going to different kind of areas in the world, kind of.
Yeah.
It's not just a one specific space,
Yeah,
right?
I highly recommend you check out the Burning Man space, because once you're in the main space for Burning Man, there's probably 36 portals that bring you to different spaces within that, and each of the space is a whole nother experience. Like it could be a game. Most of them are art. Most of them are just really cool things to look at. So you go in and wander around and look at it, and some of them are experiences. Or yeah, it's pretty neat. It's my favorite. The best thing I've seen so far, as like having a whole bunch of things going on in one in one area, and my inspiration for the modeling of how I see the Fox Finance Space work. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's cool, right? And that's the other thing too, is like this metaverse space. It's an opportunity for kind of culture and community and art, right? And that's something that interests me too, as part of the motivation of this development of metaverse. Like, I don't want to just be like Facebook, big corporate space. Like, it's a new opportunity for people to connect from all around the world. So it's like to have spaces where you have, decentralized communities developing and growing in art and new opportunities. It's like, it's pretty innovative.
Yeah. No, it's neat, and I like that Fox has given me the opportunity to develop the skills that I'm interested in developing. It's really nice, The dude abides.
Yeah, and they'll be abiding in metaspace.
To say that, or is that a copyright infringement?
No,
are you allowed to abide, or?
Yes. I'm a dudist priest. I signed up on dudism.com.
Okay.
So
you're allowed to abide.
Yeah, so I am.
Okay, good to know.
I am I'm a missionary of abiding, and basically just trying to get people to chill out a little bit and enjoy life.
The world needs more chilling out.
Yeah. Well, actually, that's kind of how, when I started in crypto, I was trying to choose an identity thing, and I was like, what's my intention? What vibe do I want to put out there? And crypto is just a place full of, like, I don't know, scams and drama and inconsistent people. And I was like, I want to be like, if I'm just like a chill, reliable, positive guy. And it just started out by like making memes and being encouraging, and then just kept getting promoted by Fox until now I'm on the board of directors. And yeah, we developing this metaverse space has been awesome, because we have like a vision for it, and then you're kind of like the architect. So, and that's your favorite part, right? Is building the actual physical spaces. So that's going to be fun too, with building the different Pokemon kind of zones. It'll be it'll be fun to do that. And so I was thinking like kind of different habitats, right? We can have different types of things,
different environments, different habitats, different.
Yeah, and I had an idea, because I was trying to think of like, what could we do that is not really possible in the real world or other things. I was thinking it would be cool, we could have one space, maybe like the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
Right, because that's something that will be impossible in the real world. But
or space.
Yeah, or space, right? But there's like, for the zoo part, it's like there's creatures down at the bottom of the ocean. We can have like underwater volcanoes and stuff where you physically, it will be impossible in reality. So that's the other kind of cool thing to think about. Like, what could we do there that you can't do in the real world, right?
Well, also, I mean, for a lot of people in the real world, it's like travel is not possible. So you can't go and, if you live in Guatemala or something like that and you don't have a lot going on, you can't go and see all these things. But you might be able to have an internet account and a headset and go exploring,
Yeah, totally. And that's where it's the cool integration, because we've talked about like nature documentaries, and like that will be a really cool thing, where it could be like, you go in there and you can actually go on experience it like a first person too, because you were showing me that YouTube 360, right? And like that is really amazing. So we could have things like that, and then to access it, we can integrate like the NFTs. So you have to have a certain Fox NFT in your wallet, and then you're able to go into that space, kind of like a ticket for a ride or whatever. And then we could use like that funding to, let's say it's a documentary to go see some endangered chimpanzee, right? And then the funding that would come from people buying tickets to that place through the NFTs we can use that towards protecting that particular animal. So I think that's it's got really cool potential there. And,
lofty ideals for sure. That's great.
I think it's going to be huge for the project because it integrates all the other thing. It's not just some side kind of like little thing. It's like, no, this is where we can bring in our NFTs, our video games, our nature documentaries, our community stuff.
Well, it's the new hub. It's the new downtown. It's the new place where people interact.
Yeah.
From everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a cool thing about that too, and also that we're making it has cool features and stuff. Because I was reading an article about, was it Mark Cuban was talking about metaverse real estate and being like, it's a bit of an overblown market because you can create different metaverse spaces, right? So it's got to be, it's not just, oh, I have this space. It's like, what's the function? What's the utility? What's happening in the space? And that's where we're coming up with unique ideas.
Have you seen Earth 2 online? No. Have you seen Earth 2? So these people have created they've mapped the world.
Oh, okay.
So they've mapped everything into blocks, and they're selling off really cheap virtual real estate. So you can, like, right now you could go on their map, find the chunk of, like, so it seems to be actually working. Like, people are actually buying it, although I wouldn't, because it seems like a scam. But you can buy, like, chunks of virtual downtowns or big swaths of parkland, or in this new virtual world,
right?
This map. And I guess their thought is that eventually that people will create virtual experiences in their world, in Earth 2, that people will want to pay to go and see. So like this house or Stanley Park, or Science World, but then you would go there in Earth 2 and you could have your own stuff going on there.
Right. Yeah. And it's so cool because, like, at this point too, like the graphics are, lower quality, but you're telling me it's really about the internet connection technology. As that increases, then it's going to be able to go even more and more. So then the early pioneers are going to be well positioned to to take advantage of it, because it's going to be, once it gets like to that level, it's going to start getting more like the Matrix.
Yeah, well, because the Meta Quest headsets which are the entry level consumer, the things that everyone can afford, are based on Android, and Android is only at G5 right now. So it needs more bandwidth to be able to swap back and forth through wireless between your modem and your headset, both ways all the time. So every time your scene in your headset changes even just a little bit, it's like firing information back and forth. So the more they increase the bandwidth, the more realistic things will be able to become.
Yeah, that makes sense. Is it possible to do like a wired connection? I guess.
Yeah, you can have a wired connection.
Maybe if your stationary is.
Yeah, but
right?
Yeah, you can definitely have a wired connection, and you can have a wired connection inside the Quest. But it's you need a really fast computer.
Right.
Like a really fast
computer. We'll get that someday. We'll Fox pay for one of those. Yeah. Well, that's exciting. Well, thanks for giving us a bit of an update. I guess the next thing is we'll put it on the final touches, and then we'll give people instructions about how they can get an Altspace and check out our first kind of iteration.
People can go and have a look.
Yeah. And then we'll start being able to fill it up with more and more content.
We'll put some content in there, and we'll put some interactables in there, so you can like move things around and play a little bit, and maybe throw a game in there that you can do, or
Right. Great.
It's good. It's fun.
Great.
I'm looking forward to working more on it, actually.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited too, especially now we got like the basic technical foundations done. It's like now we can get more into the fun stuff, right?
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Mark. Well, thanks for coming on for another interview on FoxDen Radio.
No problem. Well, you're welcome, dude.
All right, hope you enjoyed that interview with Metaverse Mark, who's building the Fox Metaverse Space. On today's show, our musical theme is going to be by a famous DJ called Steve Aoki. He's one of the hardest working DJs in the business, who's famous for doing a ton of shows and producing a lot of tracks with famous artists. We're going to start out with a collaboration of him with Kaze featuring John Martin. The track is called Whole Again, here on FoxDen Radio.
Can you remember where we started? Before we lost our innocence, never thought about tomorrow. On the run, chasing the sun, never thought it could be over. So many things I never said. Another day, another sorrow. I'm okay, but I just wish that you were here right now. Yeah, I just wish that you would know by now how much you mean to me. And I'm holding on to all our tears, all our memories. So I just wish that you were here right now to make me whole again. No, I don't know how it happened. I woke up and you were gone. I wonder, was it all a dream? You and I chasing the sun, and now I'm feeling California while I'm tripping in the dark. Another night I still miss ya. It's alright, but I just wish that you were here right now. Yeah, I just wish that you were